Welcome back. This is GCN English News Edition, and you're watching with me, Nihoy Kim Kongsai. First, the headlines. First clashes erupt in Manipur's fringe areas. 2 Meitei militants injured. Kuki MLAs denounced Solicitor General statement in Supreme Court. Recent meeting with CM and Biren Singh. Gangpokpi erupts in fury, holds Zairawn peace pact architects responsible for rape and brutal killing of mother in Zairawn. Manipur tribal groups oppose India-Myanmar border fencing. News in detail. A fresh outbreak of gunfire rattled the tense and volatile border areas of Saibul in Gangpokpi district, Thamnapokpi in Imphal East, and Zairawn-Bishnupur border in Manipur. As clashes intensified, local farmers from the Tangkhul community who had gone to tend their paddy fields in Gangpokpi were caught in the crossfire, sustaining injuries. The exact source of the bullets that injured the farmers remains unknown, as both parties involved were actively exchanging gunfire. The injured were immediately rushed to a nearby medical facility. Adding fuel to the fire, a video clip that has quickly gone viral on social media reportedly shows 2 armed men in Meitei uniform insignia, specifically bearing the satellite turret logo, firing indiscriminately across a paddy field. The presence of these men, equipped with sophisticated weaponry, has drawn further concern and criticism from community leaders and activists who fear the situations may lead to more unrest and violence in the area. For the past several days, fringe areas across Manipur have been plagued by near constant outbreaks of violence. Villages along these borders have witnessed repeated exchanges of gunfire, exacerbating already high tensions. In an alarming development, paddy rice belonging to Kuki's community, which was prepared for harvest, was also allegedly set on fire by armed Meitei groups in the Saitul area of Zairawn district last night. The Meitei militants burned down more than 10 acres of paddy fields which were prepared for harvest. A heavy exchange of gunfire also occurred at buffer areas of Zairawn and Bishnupur districts since early this morning. The firing took place near Kolimpai and Zangpikot village of Zairawn district, which shares borders with Kumbi Assembly constituency of Bishnupur district. As per reports, the firing took place as a result of the buffer zone breached by the Meitei militants. The Kuki village volunteers retaliated with heavy rounds of shots. Till the filing of this report, 2 Meitei militants sustained injuries and were admitted to a hospital in Imphal. No reports of injuries from the Kuki side have been reported so far. Families along the borders have been advised to stay indoors, and many have fled to safer areas in search of shelter. In a strong statement issued on November 9, 2024, 10 Kuki members of the Legislative Assembly, MLAs, have categorically refuted a claim made by Solicitor General of India during a Supreme Court hearing on November 8. The Solicitor General had reportedly stated that the Chief Minister is meeting all Kuki MLAs and trying to bring the situation down to get peace. The Kuki MLAs, however, labeled the statement as a blatant lie and accused the Solicitor General of misleading the Honorable Supreme Court. We have never had any meeting with Chief Minister and Biren Singh since May 3, 2023, and we have no intention of meeting him in the future, the MLAs stated, adding that they hold the Chief Minister responsible for the ongoing violence and ethnic cleansing in the region, which has seen continued unrest since May 2023. The MLAs also condemned the brutal killing of Zairawn Kimpmar on November 7, 2024, allegedly by Meitei militias, despite a heavy security presence in Zairawn district. The incident had further escalated tensions in the already volatile region. The MLS described the killing as an act of barbarism and emphasized that it reflects the continuing insecurity faced by the Kuki community. Additionally, the Kuki MLA has expressed outrage over the Solicitor General's conduct, accusing him of submitting unverified and unprofessional arguments in the Supreme Court without confirming the facts. They called for accountability and clarifications from the government regarding the situations in Manipur, which has seen months of ethnic violence and displacement. An unprecedented wave of fury and grief has swept through Star Hills as hundreds of Kuki Zhou women from Saikul region gathered in Saikul Hill town, 35 kilometers away from Kangbukpi district headquarters, to protest the brutal rape and murder of Zhou Sankipmar, a cherished school teacher and mother of three in Zairawn village, Zairawn district. Outrage over this horrific killing has intensified calls for accountability from the Zairawn district administrations and security forces, including the CRPF and Assam Rifles, now accused of betraying their commitment to protect the community. Organized by Kuki Women's Union Cycle under the aegis of Community on Tribal Unity called to Star Hills, today's protest in Cycle was a fierce condemnation of the Zairawn administrations and security agencies' alleged hollow promises, sparking intense public outrage over their apparent indifference and neglect. The protesters chanted slogans: "We condemn the brutal and tearing killings of Zhou Sankipmar. We want justice. We demand union territory with legislature," etc. Speaking to media, a prominent member of Kuki Women Union Cycle, Ngapi Jongroy, said that we are protesting against the gruesome, heinous crime. Words cannot even describe how horrific and brutal the act was. She explained that the incident occurred on November 7th in Zairawn village, Zairawn, where Meitei militants allegedly attacked the village. The villagers were unprepared for such a drastic attack because a peace agreement had been made on August 1 in the presence of central forces. They had no reason to expect that Meitei militants would attack them. As a result, the militants easily attacked. And during this assault, our sister, Zhou Sankipmar, was shot dead. She continued. Zhou Sankipmar was not only shot, but she was also brutally burned. The militants raped her, otherwise they would not have burned her. They wanted to hide all the evidence, which is why they burned her. She emphasized that this attack on Kuki minority women is not an isolated incident. This has been happening repeatedly. We always come out to protest, but our voices are not being heard. Are we not Indian enough that our voices have not been heard? It's a question. In a direct appeal to central government, Ngapi continued, we requested the government arrest those who gruesomely murdered a mother. She has left behind 3 children and was a teacher by profession. The Kuki Women Union Cycle has also vowed to continue with demonstrations until action is taken. We argue the central government to take action. We will not be silenced. Our cries for justice will continue until our sister, Zhou Sankipmar's death is answered with accountability and our people's security is guaranteed. Jongroy asserted. Enough is enough. The Zairawn district administrations and the security forces who championed this so-called peace agreement have blood on their hands. They vowed to protect us, yet they stood by as this innocent mother was brutally assaulted and murdered. Their negligence is unforgivable, and we will not remain silent, declared another Kuki Zhou women's leader, echoing the crowd's anger. This was not just a failure, it was a betrayal. The central government must step in, investigate, and deliver justice. Our mothers and daughters will continue. Our mothers and daughters will not continue to suffer because of a failed administrations and indifferent security forces, said another protesters with conviction.
The sit-in protest is organized by Kuki Women's Cycle, and we are protesting against the gruesome, the heinous. Words cannot even describe how heinous and how gruesome the act was. And this incident happened in 7th November in Zairawn village in Zairawn, where the Meitei militants, they attacked the village. Because this village, they were not prepared because there was a peace agreement which happened in 1st August 2024 in the presence of central forces. and they were not aware that the Meitei militants would attack them. So this Meitei militants slyly attacked them, and in this attack, our sister, Mrs. Zairawn Mar, was shot dead, and not only that, not only she was shot, she was brutally burnt. And the reason why she was burned is that the Meitei militants raped her. If not, then they wouldn't have burned. They wanted to hide all the evidence. That's why they burnt her. And right now we are protesting because this incident against the Kuki minority women, this is not the first time that has happened. It has been happening time and again. And we are always coming out and protesting, but our voices are not being heard. Are we not Indian enough that our voices have not been heard? We would like to plead, we would like to request the central government to please book and arrest those perpetrators who have gruesomely murdered a mother. She has left behind 3 children, and she's a teacher by profession. And we would like the central government to take strict action. Otherwise, we will not stop this protest until and unless justice has been given to us.
Justice! We want 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 justice! We demand union territory! We demand union territory! We demand.
The protesters filled Cycle Hill town with cries of anguish and demands for justice, raising their voices in unison to denounce the Zairawn peace agreement as a false promise. They accused the administrations and security forces of failing to enact meaningful protections, leaving the community vulnerable to unchecked violence. And Zairawn Kipgen, spokesperson of KOTU, recalled the Zairawn peace agreement, stating that on August 1, 2024, a high-profile peace meeting was held at the group center CRPF in Jaipur, Kachar, Assam, aiming to restore peace between the Meitei and Mar communities in Zairawn district. Facilitated by top officials including the Deputy Commissioner of Zairawn, DIG CRPF Zairawn, and commanders of the 39 Assam Rifles and 87 Battalion CRPF. The meeting concluded with resolutions to prevent violence, ensure cooperation, and coordinate control movement. Signed by community leaders and security representatives, the agreement was held as a critical step toward peace and stability in the region. Yet, just 3 months later, this commitment to peace has been exposed as an empty promise, as Zairawn Mar's mother obviously confirmed that temporary peace without structural change is not enough, he added. He continued that the central government and national media have advocated for peace without directly addressing the Kuki Zo's people's core demand, a separate union territory with legislative powers, citing hopes that Kuki Zo and Meitei communities might coexist as before. We have maintained and firmly denied any possibility of returning to their prior state of coexistence with the Meitei people, asserting that only a distinct administrative boundary can secure lasting peace and protect their communities. However, our call for a separate administration which will constitute the only solutions for lasting peace has often been met with accusations that we are obstructing peace. He further said that the tragic aftermath of Zairawn Peace Pact, culminating in the horrifying rape and murder of an innocent mother of 3, has once again proven and serves as a grave reminder that temporary peace accords without addressing the underlying call for separate administrations will ultimately result in renewed violence and bloodshed. In light of the recent tragedy, Zairawn Kipgen urged the central government to acknowledge and act on the Kuki Zo people's core demand for a separate administration to prevent further bloodshed and build a foundation for true stability. The Kuki Zo Council vehemently condemns the heinous terrorist attack carried out on a peaceful village of Zairawn, a Kuki Zo community in Zairawn district, by armed Meitei militants on the night of 7 November 2024. The brutal assault resulted in the destructions of numerous homes and the heartbreaking loss of Zairawn, a beloved Kuki Zo woman and devoted mother of 3 children. Such acts of violence against innocent civilians are utterly reprehensible and must be met with the full force of the law. Condemning the attack in the highest form, the Kuki-Zo Council issued a press release consoling the family and friends of Zo Sang Kim during this difficult time, and we stand united in our resolve to bring those responsible for this senseless tragedy to justice. The continued targeting of Kuki-Zo villages and the senseless killings of innocent civilians by the Meitei militants is a stark reminder of deep-rooted animosity between the two communities. It is evident that the wounds can never be healed, and the prospects of peaceful coexistence seems bleak. The release further states that the atrocities committed undermined any semblance of trust and reconciliations, making it clear that peaceful coexistence is an unattainable goal for these communities. Peaceful coexistence between the two communities can only be achieved if there is a separate administrations for the Kuki-Zo community. The Kuki-Zo Council stands resolute in our commitment to defend ourselves and repel any attack that threatens our community. Our unwavering determination to protect our people and our land is steadfast, and we will not hesitate to take action against any threat to our safety and security. We will not rest until justice is served and those responsible are held accountable for their actions. We will not allow any form of injustice to go unpunished, and those who have wronged us will be made to answer for their crimes, aided and released. Then tribal organizations in Manipur, including the Indigenous Tribal Leaders Forum (ITLF), reaffirmed their opposition to India-Myanmar border fencing project and the scrapping of the Free Movement Regime (FMR) on Sunday. The organizations argued that fencing the border and dismantling the FMR would sever social, cultural, and economic ties between tribal communities living on both sides. They issued a joint statement calling on the central government to halt these initiatives. The ITLF confirmed in a statement that they had petitioned a Union Home Minister Amit Shah on January 24, 2024 to reverse the decision to scrap the FMR and halt border fencing. They highlighted similar opposition from Mizoram and Nagaland, who also emphasized the FMR's importance for maintaining cross-border ties. The tribal bodies urged all tribal people, particularly village chiefs and government employees, to abstain from participating in any border fencing activities. They view these activities as detrimental to the unity of communities divided by the border. The FMR allows residents within 16 kilometers of the border on either side to travel freely without passports or visas. This freedom of movement has facilitated strong social, cultural, and economic bonds between communities across the border. While Manipur Chief Minister Biren Singh and his Arunachal Pradesh counterpart Pema Khandu support the border fencing and scrapping of FMR, the Chief Ministers of Mizoram and Nagaland, along with their respective governments, oppose this move. Manipur Chief Minister Singh stated that the fencing is necessary to curb infiltrations, drug smuggling, and other illegal cross-border activities. He cited the Border Roads Organization's (BRO) as the agency responsible for erecting the fencing under the directions of the Union Home Ministry. Union Home Minister Amit Shah had previously announced the scrapping of the FMR and the implementations of fencing along the entire 1,643-kilometer India to Myanmar border. This decision aims to bolster internal security and preserve the demographic structure of the northeastern states bordering Myanmar. Of the 4 northeastern states bordering Myanmar, Arunachal Pradesh 520 km, Manipur 390 km, Nagaland 215 km, and Mizoram 510 km. Only fencing work along 20 km of mountainous terrain in Manipur is currently underway. As winter draws near, the harsh realities of the ongoing crisis weigh heavily on the families in relief camps. Kim Nyeo Ho Kip Hang Sing, MLF 46 Cycle SD, as he yesterday had the honor of distributing blankets to 150 families at Lung Tin relief camp, each one facing unimaginable hardship and uncertainty. While we cannot change their pain, we can offer warmth and solidarity in these dark times, the MLS said. It's a small gesture, but every act of kindness matters. Let us continue to stand together as we navigate those through these challenges, aided MLA Kim Neo Hang Sing. The National Tobacco Control Program (NTCP) is a government initiative that aims to reduce tobacco consumption and its harmful effects. Recently, the District Health Society Zairawn launched the Tobacco Free Youth Campaign 2.0 to educate youth about the danger of tobacco. Main objectives of the campaign were create awareness about the harmful effect of tobacco's consumption, reduce the productions and supply of tobacco products, ensure effective implementations of tobacco control laws, help people quit tobacco use, facilitate implementations of strategies for prevention and control of tobacco. Dr. N. Thangin Mang, District Nodal Officer, NTCP, outlined the campaign's objectives, while Dr. T. Valakungi, CMO Zairawn, also shared valuable insights. The NTCP collaborates with NGOs like HE Green Foundation Trust to promote a tobacco-free society. Key strategies include training health and social workers, NGO school teachers, and enforcement officers information, educations and communications (IEC) activities, school programs, monitoring tobacco control laws, coordinations with Panchayat Raj institutions for village-level activities. Dr. Hagen Tungdim, convener of AC Green Foundation Trust, emphasized the importance of awareness about drug toxicity, focusing on students from class 5 to 10. The CMO, NTCP, and HFT will work together to address drug-related issues. Justice Sanjeev Khanna took oath as the 51st Chief Justice of India on Monday, succeeding Justice D.Y. Chandrachud. President Draupadi Murmu administered the oath of office to Justice Khanna during the ceremony held at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. According to sources, Justice Sanjeev Khanna has prioritized tackling judicial pendency and prefers to stay away from limelight, even as he believes the judges have to live with the reality that they are currently in an era of social media. Elevated as a Supreme Court judge on January 18, 2019, Justice Khanna will superannuate on May 13, 2025, after a tenure of a little over 6 months. He is among the few judges who were elevated to Supreme Court even before becoming the Chief Justice of any High Court. Justice Sanjeev Khanna started his career as an advocate with the Bar Council of Delhi 1983 and initially practiced in the district courts at the T.S. Hazari complex and later moved to High Court of Delhi and tribunals. He had a long tenure as the Senior Standing Counsel for the Income Tax Department and in 2004 was appointed the Standing Counsel Civil for the National Capital Territory of Delhi. Justice Khanna also appeared for a number of criminal cases at the Delhi High Court as an additional public prosecutor and amicus curiae. He was elevated as an additional judge of the Delhi High Court in 2005 and was made a permanent judge in 2006. As a Delhi High Court judge, Justice Khanna also held the position of chairman or judge in charge, Delhi Judicial Academy, Delhi International Arbitration Center, and the District Court Mediation Centers. Justice Sanjeev Khanna held the post of chairman of the Supreme Court Legal Service Committee from June 17 to December 25, 2023, and is currently the executive chairman of the National Legal Services Authority. He is also a member of the Governing Council of the National Judicial Academy, Bhopal. He is the nephew of former Apex Court Justice H.R. Khanna, who was part of the landmark verdict propounding the basic structural doctrine in the Kesavananda Bharati case of 1973. As a judge of the apex court, Justice Khanna has been a part of several important rulings in the case against his journalist over remarks during a TV show. A bench presided by him refused to cause the FIR, saying that Article 19(1)(a) of the Constitution cannot be pressed into service for defeating the fundamental right guaranteed by Article 21 if one claims to the right of speech. The other have the right to listen or decline to listen. Justice Khanna, who was part of a three-judge bench dealing with petitions challenging the clearance for the Central Vista redevelopment project, had delivered a dissenting view in the matter. He was also part of several Constitution bench rulings, including the one upholding the abrogations of Article 370 of the Constitution and striking down the 2018 electoral bond schemes, among others. He was also part of the recent majority ruling in the Aligarh Muslim University AMU minority status determination case. Army officer was killed in actions and 3 soldiers were injured during a gunfight with terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir's Kiswar. The Army's 16th Corps in a post on Aksait, the junior commissioned officer JCO Naib Subedar Rakesh Kumar was killed in action in a joint counter-terror operations launched in Kiswar's Bart Ridge on Saturday. Naib Subedar Kumar was from the 2 Para-SF. The encounter broke out around 11 a.m. when joint search parties of the army and police intercepted the terrorists in the Keswang forest, a few kilometers from the spot where the bullet-riddled bodies of VDGs Nazir Ahmed and Kuldeep Kumar was found. A massive search operation was launched in the forests of Kunwara and Keswan on Thursday evening after the terrorists abducted and killed the VDGs. The Army's Jammu-based White Knight Corps said in a post on X. Based on specific intelligence input regarding the presence of terrorists, a joint operation was launched by security forces in general area Bahari's Kiswar. This is the same group which had abducted and killed 2 innocent village defenders. Contact was established and firefight ensued. The officials say 4 army personnel were injured in the initial gunfight and evacuated to a hospital, where 1 died and the condition of 2 stated to be critical. After Mumbai, Pune and Gurugram, Trump towers to now set foot in Noida, Bengaluru and Hyderabad. Trump Jr. and Eric Trump likely to visit India in early 2025. After Donald Trump's historic win in U.S. elections 2024, India is expected to become the largest real estate hub for Trump towers outside of the United States. The licensed partner for the Trump organizations in India, Tribeca Developers, has finalized 6 new real estate deals spread across Pune, Gurugram, Noida, Mumbai, Hyderabad, and Bengaluru, totaling 8 million square feet with a U.S. brand. These are expected to have a sale potential of over rupees 15,000 crore. Incidentally, India has the highest number of Trump-branded projects in the world after the US, with 4 Trump-branded projects totaling 3 million square feet. Tribeca Developers, Trump's India partner, has indicated that they have finalized 6 new projects across India, totaling 8 million square feet and with a sale potential of over 15,000 crore. The brand is now all set to enter 3 new markets, Noida, Bengaluru and Hyderabad, and come up with repeat projects in Pune, Mumbai and Gurugram. India has the highest number of Trump towers outside America. Going forward with 6 more launches, India will have the highest number of Trump towers. Kalpesh Mehta, founder of Tribeca Developers, told HT.com. Trump is the only super luxury real estate brand in the world, and Tribeca has worked hard to ensure that our Trump projects in India become trophy properties. The new projects have been carefully selected over time, and we intend to push the boundaries of luxury even further with them, further solidifying Jamaica's position as India's leading trophy property developer, he said. The new projects will be located in Pune, Gurugram, Noida, Mumbai, Hyderabad, and Bengaluru. 2 deals will be with repeat partners, he said, adding at least 4 deals will be announced by early December. This will be a mix of full stack and development management models. Each of these projects will have local partners, developers as well as landowners, he told HTCom. On plans to bring Donald Trump Jr. to India, Mehta said that the plan is to bring both Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump to India next year, definitely in the first half. The two will visit India early next year to launch the Trump Tower projects, he said. The brand will be adding second properties in Gurugram, Pune, and in Mumbai. In cities where Trump Towers already exist, the second version of these properties may be called Trump World Towers, he said. The brand is looking beyond residential projects this time around. Some residential houses in Mintat City are burning due to large weapons fired by the terrorist council deployed on Mintat City, Jin State, and it is known that Y-12 aircraft were filled with weapons again last night. Civil houses on the side of the bank road below Mintat Hotel, eastward Mintat Hotel, were on fire due to heavy weapons fired at around 7:30 a.m. this morning. According to HKL Mindat, the houses of Upper Mintat City, eastward, and smoke was seen as of the current news. In addition, the military council used Y-12 truck to deploy 10 packs of grey mules, drone bombs with parachutes. These parachutes dropped light have been installed, and some have fallen in front of the central bay and some around 3 miles. The battle of Mintat City occupations continues to intensify, and the terrorist military council is destroying and burning residential houses as usual. And the CD of Mindat and the military council may have seized some military council camps. October saw Russia hit with its worst casualty rate since the war in Ukraine began, a senior UK official has said. The UK's Chief of Defence Staff Tony Radakin said on BBC Sunday with Laura Kusberg that Russia suffered a daily average of more than 1,500 killed or injured troops in October, which he called an extraordinary price for tiny increments of land. But he added that there was no doubt that Russia is making tactical territorial gains that are putting pressure on Ukraine. In a post on X on Sunday, Ukraine's Ministry of Defense shared figures from the General Staff of the Ukrainian Armed Forces that put Russian combat losses since the start of the invasions in February 2022 at around 709,000 troops. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte said in last October that the number of Russian troops killed or wounded in the war was over 6 lakh. Russia has also suffered heavy losses to military vehicles during the war, losing over 9,200 tanks and around 18,700 armored fighting vehicles per the Ukrainian figures. The Institute for the Study of War said in an update on the conflict on Saturday that Russian forces will not be able to sustain its current loss rest indefinitely, especially not for such limited gains. Russian forces were bolstered by the arrival of thousands of North Korean soldiers in October. Western officials have said reports of Ukrainian and North Korean troops first classes in Russia's Kursk region emerged earlier this week. A CD of dead bodies were collected and weapons were confiscated during the battles of Palam City in Jin State. Terrorist military lobbies are spreading through Telegram. In the descriptions of military council militants, a battle took place yesterday on November 10th at around 6:30 a.m. An ACD of various 10 driver guns, 1 M16 gun, 1 M22 gun, and 1 M12 type RPG, 5 different bullets, 105 bullets, and 4 RPG delivery bullets were seized. The CNO or CNDF side, the local defense force, has not yet responded to this issue. There has been a fierce bilateral fight on Palam City since November 8. It is known that the battle is ongoing this morning as well. It is known that military council is conducting airstrikes during these battles and missiles are being fired continuously from Kalai City. The Israeli military released a video on Sunday claiming to have dismantled several underground tunnels used by the Iran-backed Hezbollah group in Lebanon, including one located under a cemetery house in Lebanon. The tunnel, measuring over 100 meters, was shown to contain iron doors, a bathroom, storage rooms, and weapons, including AK-47 rifles and generators. An Israeli soldiers in the video has described the tunnel as part of Hezbollah's preparations for an attack similar to Hamas' assault on Israel. Since the outbreak of the Gaza war on October 7, 2023, Israel and Hezbollah has been engaged in clashes along the Lebanese border. The Israeli military launched a cross-border ground assault into Lebanon in September, and since then, it has reportedly uncovered multiple tunnel thefts. These discoveries followed death of Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah in an Israeli airstrike on September 27. That's all from us tonight, and we thank you for joining our program.